paper 3, Science and Technology. So General Studies paper 3 consists of the following units: Economy, Agriculture, Science, Technology and Environment, Internal Security, Disaster Management. When I see the previous papers, the questions relating to Science, Technology and Environment, out of 250 marks, they carry around 60 to 70 marks. Sometimes it could be more. So today's topic of discussion, we discuss a unit in Science and Technology. The question for discussion: the International Solar Alliance is geopolitically significant. Trans-regional solar energy cooperation can pave the way for equality and a just energy order. So this particular question, when you're answering for 200 words, you can split up your answer into the following manner. First, you give an introduction, how the International Solar Alliance came about, what are the objectives, come to the advantages, then finally you conclude your answer by highlighting the issues of concern. First, we go to the background, why the International Solar Alliance came about. See, we have the fluctuation in oil and gas pricing, which is affecting the economies of the developed world. So we had to think of alternatives. We could not depend on the whims and fancies of the OPEC and other countries which were dictating terms in fixing the price of oil. Next, environmental problems. The problems caused by the oil fire, then problems caused by pollution. So the environmental problems far outweigh the advantages in the non-renewable sources. So we have to think of the renewable sources of energy. The Prime Minister in one of the conferences, he remarked that the International Solar Alliance is an alternative to the OPEC. The International Solar Alliance was established by the Paris Agreement in 2015. India and France are the the founders. Now there are 122 countries who are members of the International Solar Alliance. This much for the introductory part. Read the question again. The International Solar Alliance is geopolitically significant. So we are answering this part of the question. This will translate into objectives. First thing, objective: to reduce demand, to reduce reliance on non-renewable resources by developing solar resources. So you see the countries located between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, they have uninterrupted access to solar energy. So this is the reason why these countries will play a dominant role on developing solar resources and reducing the reliance on non-renewable resources. The second objective of the International Solar Alliance is to assist member states in drafting solar policies. Development of standards for solar energy. So the International Solar Alliance is going to develop standards for solar energy to the member countries. I told you there are 122 member countries. An important objective of the International Solar Alliance is providing universal access to solar lighting. Accessibility to solar lighting, this is one of the most important objectives of the International Solar Alliance. Then address the problems faced by the transitional economies. The first problem, growing demand for energy. The second important problem, clean energy. So the International Solar Alliance tries to tackle the twin problems of transitional economies by providing for alternative sources of energy and energy which is clean. Then we come to the advantages of the International Solar Alliance. The first advantage would be energy security. So what do I mean by energy security? Reducing dependence on fossil fuels, providing connectivity, providing electricity to remote areas. You see the northeast, which is the areas are far flung, or you take hilly terrain states like Kodagu in Karnataka. So all this is provided, taken care of by the solar energy. So energy security is one advantage. The second thing is environmental security. By environmental security, I mean reducing the problem of pollution. Like if you see the tankers, you see the oil spills. So all this, then you see the environmental hazards. All this can be controlled through provision of clean energy. The third thing, economic opportunities. By economic opportunities, I mean, see now after we went into this giving a lot of push to the solar energy, now there is a sector engaged only in the manufacture of photovoltaic cells. Then this has attracted huge investments. So this is a growing industry by itself. So this can become an important source of economic opportunity. What do I mean by diplomatic opportunities? I mean North-South cooperation, fostering cooperation between the North and South. So this is what the question means. Trans-regional solar energy cooperation, that is North-South dialogue, North-South energy cooperation, can pave the way for equality and a just energy order. Just like how there is a new international economic order which tries to narrow down the differences between the north and the south. Similarly, we are also speaking of a just energy order. So, summing up the discussion on this question, first I went to the background. See the background, what we discussed, you can limit it to two sentences. Objectives, give more importance to the objectives. So, because the question says it is geopolitically significant. So when I say it is geopolitically significant, I'll have to highlight this part of the answer by stressing on the objectives of the International Solar Alliance. Then the second part of the question, when I say it can pave the way for equality and a just energy order, I will focus my answer, I will highlight the advantages. So in the advantages, two sentences on each: energy security, environmental security, economic opportunity, diplomatic opportunities. Now, how do we conclude a discussion on this particular topic? Issues of concern. See, the first important issue would be the issue of funding. Cost of setting up solar energy plants. Now, if you see the transitional economies, economies which are developing, how can they afford so much of funding? Unless it is supported by some international funding agency or some other agency. The question of funding is a major issue of concern in setting up the solar energy plants. The second thing, the cost. Now, once you set up solar energy plants, the question of cost. So initially you will have to have a high tariff. So this high tariff will be unpopular among the masses. So you take a developing country like India, wherein the politicians, the major political parties speak of free power to the farmers. So when the question of free power comes, how or who is going to talk about the cost of high tariffs? That is another ticklish issue, which has to be settled, which has to be which has to be taken care of by the policymakers. The third important issue of concern will be transfer of technology. Now, how is this going to take place? And whether the countries which are technologically sound, whether they are willing to establish a just energy order. So that is a major issue of concern. Transfer of technology to the less developed countries. How is it going to be done? Then climatic issues. Climatic issues are another issue of concern in implementing the just energy order. Now, this particular question, we have given the basic framework for writing 200 words. So, if you structure your answer in the pattern proposed in the chart, that is a background, objectives, advantages, then finally concluding with the issues of concern. In the issues of concern, each item which we have highlighted, whether it is the funding part of it, whether the cost related issues, the transfer of technologies, this would take about 3 to 4 sentences of your answer. Finally, what I would like to suggest in answering a question like this, suppose you can think of facts and figures, you may give. See, but what the examiner is trying to get from you is the basic knowledge of the question asked. And when you quote facts and figures, say for instance relating to the International Solar Alliance, your figures should be authentic and you cannot give wrong figures. It is always better to go with a general analysis of the question asked and sticking to facts, figures if it is possible, and if you're authentic and if you're confident, it could be highlighted in the answer. And finally, before I conclude my answer, I would like to once again repeat how you have to stick to 200 words. 200 words meaning, say, 10 words a line, so it will go on to 20 lines. If you cannot write 200 words, even 170, 180, 190, there is no problem. But the moment you cross 200 words, there is negative marking. And you see the major part of the general studies paper. You have to answer a large number of questions, and there is no need to specialize, give more importance to one question and less importance to another question. Give equal importance to all the questions. That way, you can hope to do a better job in answering questions relating to general studies.